It's November 2022 and I've headed to northern Spain to walk along the walls of the ancient Catalonian city of Girona. Located 99 kilometres northeast of Barcelona, at the point where the Ter, Onya, Galligants and Jueus rivers merge, the area was first settled by the Astani, an ancient Iberian tribe who named the location Girona. In Roman times, a citadel was built in the location, and after the Romans left, the area was ruled by the Visigoths until it was conquered by the Moors in 715. Charlemagne temporarily wrested control of the city from the Moors in 785, but the Moors recaptured the city in 793. From then until the Moors' final defeat in 1015, the city repeatedly changed hands, with the area being sacked in 827, 842, 845, 935 and 982. In the 11th century, Girona was declared a city by the King of Aragon. The city became a duchy within Catalonia in 1351, when Peter III of Aragon gave the title of Duke to his firstborn son, John. In 1414, King Ferdinand I, in turn, gave his firstborn son the title of Prince of Girona. Since then, the title of Prince or Princess of Girona has been accorded to the heir apparent or presumptive of the Crown of Aragon. With the consolidation of Iberian kingdoms, this now means that the Prince or Princess of Asturias, the heir to the Spanish throne, is also the Prince or Princess of Girona. The sackings of Girona of the first millennium continued into the second, with the city undergoing 25 sieges and being captured 7 times. Consequently, the walls of the ancient city have seen more than their fair share of use. The western side of the city walls were demolished at the end of the 19th century to allow for the expansion of the city, whilst the eastern walls were left untouched but abandoned to decay. In recent years, the walls and towers on the eastern side of the city have been repaired, or where they'd gone completely, been reconstructed to form a continuous run, starting from near the Passage Archéologique up past the cathedral for just under a kilometre, ending near the Plaça de Catalunya. You can walk along the top of the walls as they make their way around the edge of the ancient city centre, and climb the various towers along the way for views out across the modern city and beyond. From the 9th century up until May 1492, Girona had a large and thriving Jewish population. The Spanish Inquisition forced the Jewish population to either convert or be expelled from the country, and the story of the community, their impact on the city and their expulsion is told in the Museum of Jewish History, located at the heart of what was once the Jewish quarter of the city and close to the site of the former synagogue. A short distance further up the same street, heading towards the city's cathedral, is the Girona History Museum. The museum is located in a 15th century house that was later converted into a Capuchin convent, the convent of St. Anthony. The building still houses the former cemetery and parts of the cloister and cistern. The museum charts the history of the city from those initial Iberian tribes and their settlement close to the confluence of the rivers, through the Romans and their settlement, to the industrialisation of the city and through to the transition to democracy of the modern day, as well as a display of some of the giants and big heads that parade around the city every October for the St Narcissus Fair and Festival. From the art galleries on the upper floor, there's also one of the best views in the city of the front of the cathedral. The Cathedral of St Mary of Girona is located at the top of a steep Baroque staircase on a high point looking over the old town and rivers. Inside, the cathedral has the widest Gothic nave in the world at 23 metres wide and second only of any church in the world to that of St Peter's Basilica in the Vatican. A primitive church existed on the site prior to the Islamic conquest of Iberia, after which it was converted to a mosque. The building was reconsecrated as a church in 908. By 1015, the church was in a poor condition, so extensive renovations in the Romanesque style were carried out, with the bell tower completing restoration in 1117. However, Romanesque was rapidly falling out of favour for Gothic, and plans to redesign the cathedral were laid down in 1312. For it took 104 years before any work actually took place, with work on the new Gothic nave starting in 1416. Of course, as with Romanesque, Gothic fell out of favour, and when it came to completing the main facade, Baroque was all in vogue. Work on the facade began in 1606 and took even longer to complete, with a final section not finished until 1961, a full 355 years later. A small treasury museum to one side of the cathedral houses a number of religious caskets, manuscripts and paintings. As well as the 11th century Tapestry of Creation, considered amongst the masterworks of Romanesque tapestry. The neighbouring Bishop's Palace is now home to the Museu d'Art de Girona, a museum and gallery dedicated to art and architecture, including many items from both the cathedral and the nearby Basílica of Sant Feliu. Just beyond the cathedral is the Basilica of Sant Feliu, the largest church in the city and originally located just outside the city walls, which is why a significant proportion of the external facade resembles a fortification. As with the cathedral, the church is a mishmash of architectural styles, representing the length of time it took to complete. The church is rare in Spain for possessing a spire rather than a tower. To one side of the main body of the church is the impressive chapel to St Narcissus, the patron saint of Girona and the location of his tomb. Legend has that after many years as a missionary, Narcissus settled in Girona as a bishop in 304, and 3 years later was killed alongside his deacon Feliu by a group of pagans who attacked them. A short walk away from the Christian churches is a reminder of the earlier times when Girona was a Moorish city. The Arabic baths actually post-date the departure of the Moors from Girona, as they weren't constructed until 1194 to imitate the structure of Moorish bathhouses and include a number of different architectural styles from Islamic, Jewish and Roman bathing practices. It's likely the baths went out of use in the early 16th century, as by 1618 the site had been acquired by Capuchin nuns in order to set up their convent. Parts of the original structure remain, and in 1929 reconstruction and restoration work commenced. Today, the dressing room, or apoditarium, is the most impressive of the set of rooms, with its central well of lighting from above. The frigidarium or cold room is still in good condition next door, and in the tepidarium or warm room the floor has been removed to show the heating system that would have been in use. Next door, little remains for hot room or caldarium other than parts for walls and some of the niches. From the caldarium you can take a staircase up onto the roof of the complex, from where you can see the furnace and boiler that helped heat the complex. As well as the small skylights that illuminate the smaller rooms, and the large octagonal skylight that illuminates the dressing room below. A little further on and you reach the former Benedictine Abbey of St Pere de Galligants, home since 1857 to the Archaeological Museum of Catalonia in Girona. The museum was founded 11 years earlier as the Provincial Museum of Antiquities and Fine Arts and moved between various buildings before finding a permanent home in the monastery, which had been abandoned by the monks in 1836. The museum occupies the main body of a Romanesque church, as well as the cloister area. In the rooms above the cloister, the museum houses its main collection of artefacts, starting from the very earliest evidence of the Astaini through to the Romans and beyond. Girona Costa Brava Airport is located 8 miles southwest of the city. For a while, in the early 2000s, the airport was notorious for being Ryanair's Barcelona airport, despite being nearly 50 miles from the Catalan capital. Today, the airport still sees year-round services from Ryanair to Poland, Italy, Germany and the UK, as well as seasonal services from both Ryanair and several other airlines to European destinations. Girona sits on the Perpignan-Barcelona high-speed line with frequent services to Barcelona Sant in under 40 minutes and Madrid in around 3.5 hours, making the global hub airports of Barcelona El Prat and Madrid Barajas viable alternatives. Renfe also offer high-speed AVE services to Lyon, Toulouse and Marseille, while SNCF TGV services from Barcelona to Paris stop here as well.